So we've just left Purim, the holiday of Purim, but I wanted to extend, maybe stay with Purim a little bit longer this year, just to talk about it in this context. We so often relegate this holiday of Purim to children because we get to put on masks and costumes, and so it gets relegated to kids stuff. Of course, the inebriation part of it, hopefully we leave to adults, and hopefully not in a way that is harming. But I wanted to talk about a little bit about this idea of hiddenness as it relates to Purim. So we first have the figure of Esther in the Megillah, and in fact, the Megillah is named after her. The scroll is named after Esther, and her name itself means hidden. And it's actually an extra name because her original name was Hadassah, and Esther was like this assimilated name that she was given so that she could fit more into the culture within which she was living, which was not her culture. So she also, having that name Esther is also a piece of her hiding her identity. And we know certainly from the story that she was hiding her identity while she was in the king's court. But we don't know, was she also hiding her identity outside of the king's court, and was that part of why she had this other name, Esther? And then there are these ideas of hidden enemies in the story of Purim. Of course, there's the obvious enemy of Haman, who is just, this pure representation of everything that makes Jewish people anxious. Someone in power who wants to harm, us as a people. And then Haman himself comes from this long line of people, of kings, who also, according to our tradition, in history, had caused harm to the Jewish people. And then I think there's this other piece that I know we don't talk about this very much. There's actually a fantastic parody going around right now this year called The End of the Book. You can Google it when we're done. It's like a little musical number done in like Avenue Q style with puppets. It's very amusing, but it's not about an amusing subject. It's about what happens at the end of the book of Esther. And at the end of the book of Esther, it is not, in fact, the Jews who are harmed. The Jews in Persia go out and go on a killing spree. So I think we also are called, and we really, even for adults, overlook this piece every year. We're also really called to look upon ourselves when we talk about that hidden enemy. We chastise Haman every year for wanting to murder the Jews. Yet we intentionally gloss over the end of the book because it makes us uncomfortable to look at our own deeds and to say, wait a second, we actually did the thing that Haman wanted to do. So really not children's messages alone in this book of Esther. Some very, very difficult things to look at. But I think one of the most interesting pieces of hiddenness in the book of Esther, and we do hear about this from time to time, is the concept of the hiddenness of the divine. As you may well know, in this book of Esther, God's name is not mentioned once. So there's a big question as to why was this even included in the canon of Jewish books that are, part of our Hebrew Bible, and of course the rabbis kind of go back and lay God over the book. But really, God's name is not mentioned once. And I think that is one of the most powerful messages we can have. Because I don't know about you, but look, I'm a religious leader. And in my day-to-day life, unless I'm bringing up God, people aren't talking to me about divinity. It's hidden from us. It's hidden from us in our everyday life. And we really, really have to seek it out in order to bring it to life. And I want to thank Amit for leading us through that beginning meditation and focusing on seeing what's inside, because I think it really is upon us to notice the divine nature that lies within ourselves, that lies within every other being. And if we're even to take this to a place where some of our mystical teachers in our tradition took it to say that there's a divine nature to every single thing that exists in this universe. And it's only because of those external layers that we ourselves, through our own consciousness, lay upon the things that are around us, that we cannot see their divinity and their interconnectedness. So, so as we are leaving Purim, I'll wish for all of us that we have glimpses of this, because we have to live in this world, and we can't go around, I have to know that this couch sitting in front of me is a couch so I can sit on it. I need to know that the food in my refrigerator is food so I can eat it and it can give me sustenance and I can stay alive. And if I were to go around and say, well, it's all God, all the time, I wouldn't do such a good job of surviving. But to find those glimpses of it, especially in moments where we're with other beings, and to find glimpses of the divine in one another, can be a life's work that can bring us a lot of joy that might otherwise be hidden to us.
Thank you, Carrot. And just as Carrot mentioned, sometimes things are a little more obvious and more present for us to see. We don't have to seek it out so much, but otherwise, sometimes it's not. Like, for example, in India, when I go to India, one of the first things that I notice is that the acknowledgement of the divine is much more prevalent in society. You just go anywhere and then people are somehow acknowledging the divine. I don't know how it is in Israel. I'd like to go to Israel. I want to go. I don't know how it is there. Maybe it's like that over there too, But I know for sure that here, it's not quite the same like that. You have to seek it out. It's much more a materialistic kind of reality. So if you have to dig a little deeper, and that's what we do in yoga. It's like it's not like the divine isn't there. It's there everywhere. But sometimes you have to dig a little deeper, you know. It depends where our reality rests. If our reality rests in the external world, that's what we'll experience. If we focus on moving a little deeper, then we will experience the reality of that layer, just like we did in the first posture. So the yoga practice is, it just reveals everything. Yeah, it reveals what is hidden. Some of it maybe, you know, not very comfortable, not very pleasant to look, to even be in touch with and look at. Like you mentioned, Kerith, there's some parts of it that are not comfortable at all. Some aspects of the reality are harmful within ourselves. We may be having negative ways of thinking or patterns that we picked up, we're not even aware of. But the practice reveals it, and from that revelation, we can begin to transform awareness, acceptance, and transformation towards a more positive state. Okay, so that is really what the practice of yoga is, to reveal the hidden. And once you take out the negative hidden stuff, all that's left is pure positivity. That's all. Okay, and it's always there. At this very moment, all of it is right there within you at this very moment. Yeah. So there's nothing, you know, that you have to wait for. It's right there, right now. Okay. And let's do another. I want to open the upper back a little bit. So I think we did this last time. Let me show you the setup. It's this. Oh, wait a minute. Not everyone has bricks, right? Does Nancy, Steve, do you guys have bricks or no? You do? Okay. Yeah, you may need like a cushion for your head though. You see, because there are two bricks. Yes. So place one brick flat like this, as you see as you see it, and under my blanket is another brick on the middle height. Yeah, and the you know, the one with the blanket is just to support the head. So it can be a bolster, it can be a rolled blanket, whatever it is. It's just to support the head from going back and dropping back. But the more important one is the is the brick in front. And place it vertically, not horizontal. And then sit down just in front of the brick that's flat. And let me show you Laurie's spotlight while she's doing it. So you sit there, and then Laurie, go forward a little bit more. The brick, the lower part of the brick should come right at the lower shoulder blades, in between the shoulder blades. So it lifts the lower sternum up. So you may have to adjust. Lie back, please. Lie back down, and you may have to adjust where you are. But basically, yeah, looks good, Jacqueline. And then use the head to support. Now you can the legs can either be straight, or they can also be in a cross-legged cross-legged position. So Debbie, is one brick under your back? Yeah, you got to place one brick under the back. You see, like this? Do you see? It should be just under the shoulders. I mean, shoulder blades, lower shoulder blades. So let's see where you are. No, come up again, Debbie. Take the brick lower, bring it down. Yeah, a little more. Keep it in the center of the mat. Yeah, now lie back down on that and use, yes, and use the bolster for your head. Pull it back. You may need the brick as well. Yeah, put that blanket too, because the head is going back a little bit. Put it on the bolster. Yes. So legs can be either straight or cross-legged. And another reality that is always present with us is our breath. It's not really hidden, but it may not be noticed much, even though it's not hidden. So in some sense, because of the fact that you're not aware of what's going on with the breath, in some sense it is hidden, even though it's right there. Sometimes even obvious things are hidden from our view or from our awareness. And think about the breath. What a miracle the breath is. How profound is the breath? How amazing is the breath? To think that we are able to receive the life force thousands of times in a day. How incredible is that? While we breathe, all we do is to expand the lungs and create a container for the life force to just occupy that space. When we breathe out, we release whatever needs to be released on a subtler level, subtle energy out of our physical bodies. Just becoming aware of the breath. Becoming aware of the magnificence of the breath. And by virtue of receiving something that is beyond us, becoming aware of what lies beyond us. Connect with the sensation of the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. And then adapting the posture of gratitude for just being able to do this. Because with the breath, you experience the reality of existing on this planet. With the breath comes the reality of existing on this planet. Notice the quantity of your breath. The quality of your breath. Okay, and slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Open your eyes and roll to the side to come out, please. Bend your knees, roll to the side. Use your hands on the floor to push up. Okay. Okay. Let's lie down on your back, please. And if you have a belt, please have the belt close to you. We're going to take the leg straight up and then to the side in Suprapadangustasana. So lie down on your back. Bend your right knee and take the right knee towards your chest. Use your hands to pull it in to open the low back. Flex the right foot, flex the left foot, relax the right foot. Stay there for just a little while to open the low back. And then wrap the belt around the arch of your foot. Otherwise, you can just interlock your fingers around the back of your right thigh. That's fine too. Yeah, and straighten your leg, please. Straighten the right leg. And on a more gross level, maybe you'll become aware of the tightness in your hamstrings, right hamstring. Accepting it for what it is, and flex the right foot, straighten it as much as you can. Straighten the right leg. Flex the left foot, ground the left calf muscle on the floor. And if you're using a belt, walk your hands up the belt till your elbows become straight, but keep your shoulder blades on the floor. Straighten both legs. On your inhalation, pull the straight right leg in towards your chest. So those of you, Debbie, if you interlocked your fingers, walk your hands up your leg. Walk them up, yeah. Interlock, continue to interlock, yes. That way the leg will come closer. Pull the leg in. And then either holding the belt with both your hands, the belt with holding both sides of the belt with your right hand, or just holding the leg with your right hand. Place your left hand on your left hip. Inhale, pull the leg in towards your face. Now, when you release the leg to the right, make sure that the belt does not slip. So hold the belt tightly with your right hand, left hand on your hip. Even if you have to bend your right knee a bit, it's okay. But don't let the foot go away from you. Take the leg out to the right, please. Bend the elbow. Keep pulling the foot. Don't let the belt slip. It's okay if your right knee bends. It's fine. Bend the right elbow and place the elbow on the floor. Stop there. And now straighten the right leg as much as you can. Straighten the left leg as much as you can. Try to keep the right elbow on the floor. And ground the left side of your body, the left calf muscle, the left hip, the left shoulder. Relax the right leg, pull it towards the shoulder, and then maybe keeping the left hip down, relax the right groin, and bring the foot closer, the pinky toe closer to the floor. Pinky toe, not the heel. Bring the pinky toe closer to the floor. Yes, the heel moves away from the floor. But the left hip should not lift up. If the left hip is lifted up, you've gone too far. Now see how your leg went away, Debbie? It moved away. That's why I was saying hold it. It should not move away. Yes. Even if it doesn't come down fully, it's fine. There's a reason for it. And that reason is to open the outer hip and the outer hamstring and calf muscle. Inhale, come back up, please. Exhale, release the leg. Relax for a moment. Now, for most of us, living normal lives, we're not, deeply spiritual practitioners or anything like that. We're just people living in the normal world. It's a tall ask to, have awareness of the deeper layers. Even if you're practicing yoga and we're aware of our bodies and our actions, that's a long way. That's already a long way towards the process of revealing what's hidden. Bend your left knee, please, and pull the knee towards the chest. Relax the left leg and the hip joint. Open the low back, and then flex the right foot. Activate the right thigh and ground the right hip to open the front of the right hip and the low back. That's why in this posture, even though the left leg is more in the field of vision, the right side, even though it's not in the field of vision, is actually more important in this posture. The action of the right leg. And that's what happens. Our eyes go to whatever is more in the field of vision, and we stay there. And we forget about some things that are also part of it. So in this posture, the right side is more important, even though it's not in your field of vision. Straighten the leg, or place the belt or interlock your fingers behind and straighten the leg. So naturally, because you can see the left leg, a lot of your attention is going to be there. But this is a hip opening posture, and the hip really opens when the right leg works. Flex the right foot, activate the right calf muscle to the floor, activate the right thigh, drop the right hip, right side of the torso and shoulder, and keep that side grounded. So even if you can't see it, the internal awareness should be more on that side. And then on your next inhalation, relax the right leg, keep the left leg straight, pull the left leg in towards your chest. And then activate the left thigh again. And now again, apply the actions on the right side. Flex the right foot, drag the right heel away, right calf muscle on the floor, activate the right thigh, open the low back on the right side. So even if you can't see it, move from feeling. And then hold both sides of the belt with your left hand, or just hold your leg with your left hand. Right hand at the top of the right pelvis. You're going to use that hand to push the pelvis down, keep it grounded. Inhale, pull the leg in. Don't let the leg move away from you. So that means the belt does not slip, your hand does not slip. Bend the left elbow, take the leg to the left. Now, as you do that, what's happening to the right side? Take the leg to the left, drop your elbow. What happened to the right side? Even though you can't see it, become aware of it. Notice that it may have lifted up, and from a place of awareness, ground the right hip again. Activate the right thigh and ground the right hip on the floor, right buttock on the floor. So, Jackie, bend your left knee, pull the leg in a little more. Pull it, yeah. Walk your hand down the belt, Jackie. Pull the foot up towards you and off the floor. Hold the belt. Don't hold your foot. Hold the belt. Yes, like that. Pull the foot towards your shoulder. Now straighten the knee any amount there. Yes. Don't let it drop to the floor. Just keep it in the air. Yes, like that. A little higher. Away from the floor. Debbie, same thing. Yes, stay there. Debbie, hold the knee from under, please. Yes. And activate and ground the right side. Even though you can't see it, more energy, mental energy on the right side, more physical energy on the right side. Inhale, come up, please. Take the leg up, exhale, and release. Make your way to downward dog, please. Roll to the side, always roll to the side to come up. It's better for your back. Otherwise, it can go into the low back. So working with asanas, just the physical postures, there are some things that you can see and there are some things that are hidden from your line of sight. So if you can see some things, you can see your ankles. So notice the position of the ankles. Try to even them out between left and right. You can see your knees. Try to even them out between left and right. You can't see the roots of your fingers, but you can if you took your head forward. So look forward and look at them. But you still can't see it dropping because it's hidden, but feel it. Feel whether the index finger roots are dropping or not. Then adjust so it drops. Then release your head. Now you can't see your hands, but use your mind to look at your hands. Spreading the weight evenly across. You can't see your sit bones, but you can feel what's going on. Lift both of them up from just how you feel. Now close your eyes. Now you don't see anything. But it's still all there, so how can you be in the reality of your posture with your eyes closed, even though you can't see it? And step your legs forward, look at the wall in front, keep your feet hip distance apart, and extend your spine, look at the wall in front. And again here, your gaze is in front, you can't see the rest of your body, but how can you adjust your actions to lift your sit bones up, lengthen the spine? What are your thighs doing? What is happening in the calf muscles and the hamstrings? So it's hidden, but not really. It isn't hidden because you can still feel it. And then fold, relax, and fold. Release your hands, hold your elbows, if that's okay. Otherwise, stay in the half position if you need, Karith. And again, close your eyes. And from this becoming aware of how you feel in the posture, which area of your body is tight? At least bring that to your awareness. A lot of the times we don't know which part, we are not aware of what's tight, what's open. What's comfortable, what's not comfortable, where the energy is stuck, where it's not. Usually, if the body is tight, it means there's some energy stuck there. So at least it manifests on the physical reality for you to become aware of it. Same thing with pain. The role of pain is to help you become aware of something deeper. And inhale, come to the half position. Exhale, hands on your hips. Inhale, come up, please. And one of the funny things is that even though nature has given us this mechanism of pain to say, hey, there's something that's not okay, bring your attention to this. We've become really good at ignoring pain as well, and ignoring all the signs. We've become so good in ignoring all the signs that the poor body and the mind, it's like exhausted itself of even those very tools that help us that nature has given us. So it's funny, the human mind is funny. Okay. Step or jump your legs apart, hands apart. And turn your palms down, pigeon toe your feet in, please. Inhale, turn your palms up, look up. Exhale, relax your hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, and release your hands to the floor, please, Nancy and Steve. And inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, you can either stay in the half position, lengthening the spine. If your legs are straight, you're comfortable, then take your hands back and fold. If your hamstrings are tight or your hips are tight, then it's better to stay in the half position and lengthen. If you have the opening, then fold. And here you can fine-tune that, what I was just talking about. In the half position, if you feel the obstacle or any pain there, then that's a sign for you to just stay there and lengthen, because something needs to clear before you fold further. Only if you're comfortable, then you fold. And inhale, come to the half position, please. Exhale, hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale. And bring your legs together. We're going to go to child's pose. So in child's pose today, if you have a bolster, I want you to place it vertically in between your knees and have a blanket close to you. So feet, so you're not sitting on the bolster, so just go to child's pose. The big toes are touching, knees are apart. Take the bolster forward, big toes touching, knees apart, and then pull the bolster in. Go to child's pose first, sit on your heels, and then pull it in as much as you can. Yeah, pull it in between. So Debbie, take your knees apart, please. Pull the bolster in as much as it'll go in. Yeah. And lengthen the spine. If you have something for your head, your brick or a blanket, whatever you need. You may not need a brick. The brick may be too high. Blanket is better. That's fine. Hands can be in front in the beginning, just to help you push the hips back. And then take your hands back. Release the elbows to the floor. Debbie, better to have the forehead on the blanket. Yeah, and relax your elbows. So the other concept, the reason I have you in child's pose is that to just experience the reality that when you're more relaxed, it's easier for you to be more aware of everything that is happening. When you're in a heightened state, either physically, mentally, or emotionally, physical, mental, nervous system, the ability to be aware greatly drops because it is in a adrenaline state. Usually is not a very aware state. And this is why relaxation is so integral to going deeper and finding things that you usually won't see. Unfortunately, we're all very good in doing a lot, not quite as good as relaxing. So relax your ankles, relax your knees, your hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists. Relax your torso, throat, face and eyes. Relax your breath. And maybe you'll become aware of your thoughts. What are you thinking about at the moment? Is it connected to what you're doing at the present? No judgment if it isn't. Just trying to get a glimpse of the mind. You can even become aware, is what I'm thinking directly connected to what I'm doing right now? If it isn't, no judgment. That is the nature of the mind. You can even go a little deeper and label what you're thinking about. Give it a name. And visualize the thought like a cloud against the sky, in the sky. Just let go, allow the thought and the cloud to just move away from the sky, just go out of the internal vision, away from it. Let it go. Bring your mind to your breath, observe your breath. Most of the time, our thoughts are hidden. We have so many thoughts, we're not aware of them. So try it with one more. Observe your breath. Your mind will naturally get distracted. Become aware when the mind is thinking about something that's not connected. When your mind goes into a distraction, no judgment, accept it. Maybe label it, I'm thinking about so and so. And then visualize it as a cloud in the sky. And visualize the wind just blowing it away. And let go of the thought. And become aware of the clear sky and your breath. Because when you let go of something, one part of vision, you find something else that's behind it. You release the cloud and you see the sky. You release the thought and maybe you see something in your heart. And slowly come back to your breath. Inhale and slowly come up, please. And sit down on your arms, on your blanket if, if your hamstrings are tight, or on the floor if your hamstrings are open. We're going to go into a forward fold, Janusirsasana. I'm going to spotlight you, Laurie, because you know it. Okay, and bend your right knee. Take the right knee to the side on the floor, foot against the left inner thigh. So drop the right knee to the right, Laurie. Yeah, foot against the left inner thigh, high up. And place your hands on either side of the extended leg, left leg, in front, just on the floor. Yeah, walk your fingertips back, so don't lean forward. Walk your fingers back, yeah. So the torso becomes perpendicular. Lift your sternum up and take your navel to the left. Turn the navel to the left. Look at your left big toe and flex the left foot. Look at the left big toe, lift your sternum up. And then interlock, bring your hands to Namaste, lift your sternum up, interlock your fingers in front, straighten your arms, and take your hands above your head. And turn the navel to the left only. Yes, look at your left big toe. So the neck should not turn, just the navel. Inhale, look up, release the interlock. And exhale, keep your hands up, please. Don't release the hands. Look up. Exhale, fold from the hip joint. Don't release your hands down. Bring the chest, torso towards your leg, and then release the hands and hold wherever is comfortable for you. Don't try to go down. Don't push down especially. Just hold wherever is comfortable for you. And then holding the leg, hold something that you can grip against. So hold the leg or the foot or whatever it is. And then inhale, lengthen the sternum up towards your chin. Lift the chest up as if you're lifting the front rib cage away from the abdomen. Lengthen the rib cage away from the abdomen. Your hands will become straight. Flex the left foot, lengthen the abdomen. Look at the left big toe. Now you can stay here, those of you, especially if you're feeling pain, remember, be aware of that and respect it. Don't try to go deeper because all you're doing is creating more pain. If you're relaxed, inhale, extend, exhale, and fold from the hip joint. Keep looking at the big toe. Don't release your head because the sternum needs to keep lengthening forward. Inhale, once again, lengthen the sternum. Exhale, fold from the hip joint. Take the elbows out to the side. Yeah, not down, out to the side. Inhale, lengthen. If your elbows are bending, that means you can hold your foot. Laurie, yes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbows out to the side. And now relax there. Release your head. Don't try to go deeper. Even the action in the posture reveals what's going on. If you didn't do this posture, you wouldn't know if your hamstring is tight. You'd be going about your merry way without knowing. But even your action reveals what's going on. Inhale, come up to the half position, and exhale, release, please. You know, they say in yoga that if you didn't practice yoga, you wouldn't know what's happening. You'll be fine because you don't know what's going on, right? You don't feel your tight hamstring, you don't feel this, you don't feel that, until something happens, of course. But the minute all these things come up, all these things get revealed because you're practicing. And there's a lot of good to that. But sometimes, maybe sometimes it's good to just relax. Okay. And bend your left knee and place the left foot against the right thigh. Release the left knee to the left. Fingertips on either side of your extended leg. Bring the torso perpendicular. Don't lean forward yet. Bring the torso back so the spine is straight and lift your chest up. Flex the right foot and take the navel to the right. That's why yoga is for people who want to know a little more. It's not for people who don't want to know. If you don't want to know, don't do yoga. Do something else. Okay, and then bring your hands to Namaste, interlock your fingers, straighten your arms, and take your hands above your head. Navel to the right. Point your fingers up. Look up towards your hands, and don't let the hands release. Fold forward with your hips. Take the torso forward. Keep looking up to lengthen the spine as you fold. Once you reach your capacity, then release the hand. They reach. Sternum forward in the half position. Lengthen. Lift the chest so the hands become straight. And almost like you're pulling the chest, sternum towards the chin and pulling the lower rib cage away from the abdomen. Away from the abdomen. So usually the lower rib cage will go in to the contents of the abdomen, lift it away from the abdomen. Yes. And that action continues as you fold. Inhale, lengthen the sternum. Exhale, elbows out to the side. Keep looking at your big toe because that keeps the sternum lengthening. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbows out to the side. Do that 3 times. Push down, lengthen forward. And allow the hips to relax. The hips have to relax for you to go down. And then finally release your head. Look at that, Debbie. You're all the way down. Nice. And like I said, the awareness moves from the outside to the inside. While you hold the body with your actions, something gets revealed. Notice what that is. Become aware. And then maybe you have that information to take forward in your practice. This area of my body is tight. This action is challenging, or that action is easy. Inhale and come up, please. Left leg, straighten both legs. So yeah, straighten both legs, please, Jackie. And hands apart. Hands next to your hips. Flex both your feet. Lift your sternum up. Flex your feet. Look at your toes. Drag your heels away from your calf muscles. Activate your thighs. Can everyone hear me? Let's see. Hear me? Can you hear me now? Yeah? Okay, yeah, because I saw people moving around. Okay. Hands next to your hips on the floor. Lift your sternum up. Flex your feet in Dandasana. And as you lift the sternum up, it brings the arch in the low back, the natural arch. Moving it away from a rounded shape to a more concave shape. And bring your hands to Namaste, please. Lift your sternum up. Exhale, interlock your fingers, straighten your arms, and take your hands above your head. Lengthen again here. And release the interlock, point your fingers up. Look up. Exhale, when you fold from the hip joint, release the torso and the abdomen down quicker than your hands. Then when you can't move any further, then release your hands. And then pull, lengthen the sternum towards the chin like you did. Look at your big toes and lengthen the rib cage away from the abdomen. Exhale, elbows go out to the side. Keep looking at your big toes. Relax the hip joint and fold from the pelvis for the abdomen to come down closer to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen forward again. Lengthen the rib cage. Exhale, relax the hips. Take the elbows out to fold. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Now release and release your head as well. Don't try to go in any deeper. Just relax there. And your actions in the posture reveal the state of your body. Your actions in the world reveal who you are. In any particular circumstance, the way you apply physical, mental action, emotional action, it reveals deeper aspects of who you are. Inhale. Come up, please. Interlock your fingers, straighten your arms, and take your hands above your head. Exhale. Release your hands. Lie down on your back, please. I want to expand a little bit on that. It's a very interesting concept. So just like your actions in the posture reveals what's happening in the physical body, sometimes your actions in a circumstance, and that could be physical, mental, or emotional, reveals the inner workings of who you are, your mind. For example, if you go to a restaurant and the person who's serving you doesn't bring you your food exactly as you wanted, and how you respond to that will reveal the inner workings of your mind. Are you accepting? Are you relaxed? Do you address it? Do you get angry? Do you get upset? So your actions in any given circumstance reveals. It's really not so much about what the other person is doing, but let's try understanding your inner workings. That's when the transformation really begins. Bend your knees, please. Feet on the floor. Feet hip distance apart. And exhale, lift your hips up. Inhale, release them down. Do that 5 times. On the 5th time, lift and hold. And lift your hips as high as you can first. Hold it there, and then drop your hips about 2 inches. Tuck your tailbone. Use the lower glutes to tuck the tailbone and the upper hamstrings. Take the navel in, and then keeping that, lift up from the lower glutes. So try to lift the tailbone up and the lower part of the hips. This is good for the psoas muscle, as well as it makes the glutes and hamstrings work. And release your hips down slowly, please. Place your feet as wide as your mat with your knees bent, and do a few windshield wipers, going to one side and then the other. You may have to coordinate, Nancy and Steve. Synchronize. Synchronize washing. And next time your knees are to the right, stay there and place the right ankle on the left knee. Right ankle on the left knee. And take both the knees to the right. Drop them down. And come back to center, release, and take your knees to the left. Drop them down and place the left ankle on the right knee. Both knees towards the floor. And inhale, come back to center. Tuck your tailbone, straighten your legs, tuck your shoulder blades under, relax in Samasthiti, in Shavasana. You know, all these concepts are so interesting. I get a little carried away talking about it. I hope it makes some sense. Relax in Shavasana. And it's up to you whether you want to rest there or come up. Miss Gareth wants you to come up.
Yay, you can stay. Ya Anaim Sacha Kevorcha Na'ala V'Ne'elam Va'analo Sacha Kevorcha Malei Olam Ya Anaim Sacha Kevorcha Na'ala V'Ne'elam So if you have just a minute before we do Havdalah, I want to share a beautiful poem with you. And by the way, those words in Hebrew, in case you're not fluent, that I just sang are, "Where might I go to find you, exalted one, hidden one? Where would I go not to find you, ever-present one, eternal one? My heart cries out to you, please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching for me." So this poem that I want to share to you is by a poet named John O'Donohue, and it's called "Blessing for a New Beginning." In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you are ready to emerge. For a long time it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered would you always live like this. Then the delight when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream. A path of plenitude opening before you, though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. So I'm going to switch cameras now, and we'll do Havdalah together. If you have your items, please feel free to join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hamavdil ben kodesh lechol. Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol, chatoteinu imchol, zar'inu v'chazpenu yaveh kachor, ve'akol chavim balayla. Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Thanks everyone so much. So wonderful to be with you. And we'll see you all hopefully next week. We're on every week during March. The last Saturday of March, we're going to do a morning Torah Yoga because it's getting ready for Pesach and want to make sure you have plenty of time to do that and not run close to your seders. So wishing everybody a beautiful week. And thank you, Amit, as always, for helping us access these teachings in different wonderful modalities.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, Scott.
Thank you.
Tell us that Kareth has a big box of $1.99 wine that she kills when she kills these 6-ounce pours every time. Hopefully she's not in the big wine cellar.
You know, I think you called it just about exactly right.
It's when Scott opens a bottle that I hate. I stick it in the fridge and I save it for Havdalah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Because, I mean, every time we look at that, we go like, you know, like we have our little kiddish cup and it's like this big. It probably holds 2 ounces. And we're like, yeah, okay, big deal. But I mean, you have a serious 6-ounce, 8-ounce pour there. So it's like, okay.
And you can't drink that anymore, right?
No.
No, right?
No.
It would be particularly delightful.
All right. See you guys next week.
Bye. See you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Huggy.